very good morning to you. It's Tuesday the 8th of January 2019. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina here in Lincolnshire on a beautiful sunny day out there. I've got to tell you, are we a little bit dark this morning? Have I got to do something to that? There was a little bit of an issue to start with this. Hang on, I might be able to brighten myself up a bit. We don't want to seem dark and dismal. It'd be like going in some of the bars in London, that'd be. Dark and dismal, we don't do. Just a minute. Yeah, I think if I just click... Hang on a minute, let's try that. Oh, there we go. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. There we are, bursting into life. That's better, isn't it? A little bit more bright and cheery. Now, I don't know if I've done the right thing. I took the Christmas decorations down. As you can see, we have de-Christmased here in our Lincolnshire television studio complex, and something doesn't look right. And I don't know what it is. Oh, actually, it's the clocks, isn't it? I've swapped. How comes the clocks are in different places now? Isn't that strange? One's higher and one's lower. And yet all I've done is swap them around. Isn't that strange? Is that all right, or is that annoying? Is it annoying not to have the clocks up at the same level? Do let me know, boys and girls, okay? I like to be as good as possible. And it's difficult sometimes, it is. But I try and be as good as I possibly can. All right, my darlings? Let's say hello to some of you early people this morning. Hello to Maureen. Good morning, Maureen, who done me a delicious selection of sandwiches last night and a couple of bags of crisps for my journey up here to Lincolnshire, which went very well, I have to say. I got in the car. I was away by about 11:10. Maybe a little bit earlier than. I don't know how I managed to get in the car so quickly last night, but I did. So I got in the car at about 11:10. And the journey said 3 hours and 10 minutes, which is a bit longer than it normally is. But my guess is they've restarted the roadworks on the A1M. And then if that happens, you've got a bit of a diversion, which seems to go a different way each time. So I left, and instead of going to the A1M, it took me through East London, Dalston. Have you lock your doors there, mate? Oh my God, blimey! Hackney and Dalston. In East London, shields up at maximum, doors locked, windows up, even gaffer tape at the top of the windows, so they can't be opened. And you get through there as quickly as possible. Not that you can go quick. 20-mile-an-hour limits all over the place up that way. Seriously, 20-mile-an-hour limits, speed bumps which allow you to take off at speed. And you get to the M11. You see, once you're on the M11, that's quite quick. The M11 is quite quick, but it still said 3 hours, 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, my sat-nav changed, and it said, 15 minutes ahead of 15 minutes time saved, something like that. But I was going to get here, 15 minutes, that's it, route change, plus 15 minutes. Oh, sorry, route change minus 15 minutes, I think it says on my Waze, which means it's going to take 15 minutes less than what it said when I left. How fantastic is that? So normal time, and I was up here actually quite early. I was up here at about 20 to 2 yesterday. So that's a nice time to get up here. And because Maureen does sandwiches and crisps, generally, once I've got my bags in, I get in here, I turn the water back on outside. Oh, that was fun. I couldn't get the... perhaps it was because it was dark, but underneath the caravan, it's got just a water stopcock on, off. And it turns very easily. It's not stiff at all. But there's like a wooden skirt in front of it, yeah? So you've got the caravan and a wooden skirt going all the way round to stop the draft coming through. We don't like it drafty, do we, ladies? That's why some of you wear trousers, isn't it, eh? We don't like a draft going around the bottom of our skirts. No. And you just pull off this bit of wood and you turn the thing and that's it. Well, I couldn't get the bit of wood off, could I? And then I forgot there's a couple of nails in it, so you've got to be careful. Health and safety would have fun here. I'll tell you that now. You pull it back, and I kept nicking my blooming finger on the nail. Got it off eventually. I moved the stones in front of it. And got it off, turned the water in. I come in here, first thing I do is put the kettle on. And then while the kettle's boiling, I make a cup. I bring my bags in, make a cup of tea. I sit down in the dark usually. I sit there nice and quietly, just on my mobile phone, a quick check for very important messages that might have come in the last 3 hours. And then I go to bed, and that's it. So, yeah, a very nice day, okay? Very, very nice trip up here. as I say, it's beautiful today out there. It's not particularly cold. The sun is shining brightly, which you can't see anymore, I'm pleased to say, because we've got the new blackout curtains in here and studio lighting. It's all happening, dear. It's all happening. As I say, good morning, good morning, Maureen. She said, can't get into your video at the moment. It just won't open. It says playback error. Refresh your... So you're on YouTube. You must be looking in the wrong place. We did have a false start this morning. Most of you will have noticed that. We did actually have a false start this morning because something went wrong. We were getting frame... I hadn't done the Windows update. I always come in here and do a Windows update before I start. And if I forget, it tries to do it while I'm doing the show. So that's why there was a bit of a false start this morning. Then I stopped doing that, do the update, and then I come back on again. So that's why that was. You must be looking at the earlier video, Maureen, which I have now deleted. Unfortunately, if she can't watch this, she can't hear me either, can she? So that's a bit of a problem, but there we are. Good morning to Peter. Morning to you, Peter, who said, good morning, Chris. It's very nice in Woodall Spa this morning. Thank you, Peter. I like your clocks, by the way. Thank you, Peter. I love clocks. I've got a thing about clocks. This is my cock clock, which is that side now, and my owl clock. But I don't know if I should make them back the other way again, because it's annoying me, the fact that one's up there and one's down. They are... Yeah, if I swap them round, they'd be the same level. Now, work this out. Work that out. I'll do it. Actually, I'll do it in a minute to prove the point to you. Right, who else is here today? Oh, Christ, I nearly dropped my blooming iPad. Don't want to drop that again. Did that last year. Thank you very much. 200, was it 210 quid they charged me for a new one? Outrageous. Morning to Angela Waters, who's... where's my glasses this morning? Oh, no. Where have I put those? Oh, there they are. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you something now. If I can't... What's happened to those? Oh, no. Look, I must have sat on these at some point. Oh, it's always a bit of a worry, bending the ends back. No, I won't. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. If I ever can't find the glasses, tell me they're behind me there, because I'm going to make a point of always placing my studio... Oh, I have glasses in every room, dear. I put my studio glasses directly behind me there, okay? Good morning to Angela Waters in Melbourne, Australia. She's housewife superstar. Housewife super. Good morning, Angela. Mark Jones. Good morning. Chris Manzar. Good morning, Chris. I've eaten your little sponge things covered in chocolate so far. All of them. Oh, I did share a few with someone's birthday, with John's birthday on Saturday at the pub, okay? Morning, Chris. Angela, what did you fall over and disconnect the cords? No. It's the Windows update that goes wrong sometimes. Most people know that. Good morning from HQ. Morning, Adrian. Morning, Mark Connor. It's the £10 POM. Good morning, Mark. Wayne Martin's in the house this morning. Good morning, Wayne. Day off, dear. No bus driving today for you. Michael Lawrence, good morning. Katie Ann Patterson. There's no cords here to trip over. There's wires all over the place down there, I'll tell you. If you could see what's below me here, you know, you'd be very worried for my safety. I've had a lot of birds landing on my roof today. In a caravan, the bird lands, a little tap, 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 tap as it walks along. It's very exciting. Adam the plumber, good morning, Adam. I was talking to Adam the plumber yesterday. He's been decorating and doing up a house in Skegness, and he's just finished. That must be nice. You must feel a great sense of achievement. You see, I just don't like DIY. I hate it. I hate it. I only do it if I absolutely have to. Painting, wallpapering, banging up bits of wood, hanging clocks on the wall. I hate it all. I absolutely hate it. But you must feel a great sense of achievement if you're painting a room, or, I mean, especially if you're doing a house up. You know, if you're one of those people, I know a few people like that. My brother-in-law can do it. He do the whole lot. He can probably, if he put his mind to it, he could probably build a house from the ground all the way up. He'd look at it on YouTube, find out how to dig the hole, lay a foundation and all that thing. Do the whole thing. Build it up with the bricks, decorate it inside. You just imagine doing that. The wonderful sense of achievement you'd have if you built your own house. Wow. I mean, Adam didn't quite do that. Well, I think he put in a new kitchen. Did a bit of paint work. I don't know if he got someone to do that. I think he got someone to do the paint work, but he's just finished it, so that's good news. Congratulations, Adam. Well done, darling. He put a kitchen in one of my flats, which was nice of him. Which charged me an arm and a leg. God's sake. No, he installed a new kitchen. I've got a couple of properties in Berkshire, and one of them needed a new kitchen. Oh, no, not a new kitchen, a new bathroom. Oh, it was awful. It was blooming green. Of course, that was the fashion, though, in the 1970s. We had coloured bathrooms. You know, I looked all right to me. You see, I'm not bothered by things like that. I don't need everything to be modern, bang up to date. My best mate does, Ronnie. Oh, Christ. Yeah, when he came in his caravan, oh, it needs updating. Why does it need updating? Oh, well, the lights are a bit 1970s. They're lights. They go on, they cast a light, they go off. It's darkness. What more do you want them to do? Oh, yeah, but they're a bit old-fashioned. They're lights. Don't bother me. You know, I had this carpet on the stairs at my house in Bracknell. Okay? Now, okay, I'll give you, it was a little bit threadbare in places, but it was still functional. It kept my little toes warm as I was going up and down those stairs. Oh, no, you need a new carpet. Years of wear left in that, there was. Years of wear, dear. Years of wear, like my clothes. Years of wear. Who was it last week saying, oh, you've had the same jacket on twice? Years of wear left in these clothes. Ah, Maureen's joined us now. Thank you, Maureen. You were probably looking in the one that went wrong sort of earlier on. All right, good morning, Maureen. Okay, Ray Reynolds is in the house. Good morning, Ray. It must have been good at the karaoke last night, although I couldn't hear him properly. Ray came up at the end of the night to say he'd had a nice night. Only all I can see, because I'm right below a speaker when I'm doing the karaoke. I do karaoke twice a week at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Mondays 7:30 to 11, and Fridays are midday to not midday, 8:30 to midnight. Ray usually comes on Monday. Occasionally he makes brief personal appearances on Friday, and he came up to me last night, and all I just could say, I could just hear like shouting, because there was a lot of noise going on around. Plus I was keeping an eye on someone who was being a bit of a pain in the arse, whose name will remain nameless, but they were wearing red. I think you know who I mean. I went down afterwards because I couldn't hear him, and he said, what did you say? He said, oh, I just said it was a good night. Oh, right, okay. So it must have been good for Ray to say that. You know, usually I'm sure he's slagging me off behind my back, that Ray Reynolds, you know. Oh, he is, dear. Morning to Katie Ann Patterson. Did I say hello to you, darling? I did. Good morning, darling. Holy ho, Ray. Mike Contini. Good morning, Mike. Jacquii Cann is in the house. Oh, God. Look at us, Jacquie. We are television people. There's you on that thing with Leslie Crowder. It'll be all right on that. No. Stars in Her Eyes. She was on Stars in Her Eyes. Look, we got celebrities watching the programme now. We're television people, Jacquie. Me with my daily chat show. You on the music programme. Television people, that's what we are, dear. My brother-in-law, television people. He does his own channel. Makes hundreds of pounds out of that. YouTube channel, restoring old bits of equipment. Perhaps Ray Reynolds, do you want me to have a word? He can have a go at you, dear. Oh, gosh. Chris is on Jontem Beach in Thailand. Oh, you're not near that wind, are you, dear? They had terrible wind there. Did people die or not? Dreadful. They had the whirlwinds, whatever they're called. Why are whirlwinds in America called tornadoes, and in Australia they're called cyclones? Why is that? Why aren't they just called one thing? It's all very confusing, it really is. So thank you very much. Good morning, Chris. I hope you're having a nice time on the beach. Please don't tell me you've got Speedos on, dear. A pair of nice baggy shorts. No Speedos for people of our age. Please. It was a once favourite haunt of our mutual friend. Oh, Ray Reynolds used to go there as well, did he, Chris? Oh, I didn't know that. Ray Reynolds in Thailand. I'm sure Ray's never been to Thailand. He's never mentioned that to me before. He only goes on little trips down to Eastbourne. I mean, it's near Thailand, isn't it? But without the Thai people. And you can get chips. Proper ones. Not like chips in other countries, dear. You can't get a decent bag of chips anywhere but here in England. And even here it can be hard pushed by. Don't buy chips in kebab shops. Nasty things. Cut out of an old plastic bag, dear, and poured into a fry. That's not chips. You've got to have some old bag out the back cutting them up, dear. That's proper chips. Yes. Must have a word. Talking of chips, I'm a little bit concerned This was sent to me last night by a member of the family, Kim, whose daughter at the moment, actually, Kelly, her name is, lovely girl. She's got 2 lovely children, Paige and Charlie, and she was rushed into hospital last week with suspected meningitis. It turns out it's not meningitis. She's now recovering. It appears it was a little bit touch and go for a while, but she is now recovering. The only thing is they're not sure what she had. I think it might be the flu. They're just not sure. Terrible, isn't it? But hopefully she's on her mend now. Unfortunately, she doesn't have internet in there, which must, I mean, it must gut her, the fact that she can't sit there and watch me. That's all I can think. It must absolutely gut her that she can't sit there and watch me. Maybe I should put some on a DVD and buy a cheap DVD player and take it down to the hospital. That's the sort of person I am, thinking of others before himself, just like a Cub Scout. Cubs, do your best. We will do our best and do our duty to God and the Queen and to help other people. And here I am, helping you in your sad, lonely, pathetic lives to be happy. See, I'm all heart, I'm all heart. Anyway, Kim also sent me this very, very worrying piece of news from the Skegness Standard. By the way, I've got to put this up. Hang on a minute, I've got it here somewhere. Ray, you'll know that I bought this up here. Any idea what it is, Ray? Oh, yes. Skegness is so bracing. Where can we put this? Should we put that? We'll have to find somewhere to put that. Perhaps in, oh, how about in the sky there? Would it up in the sky? Up and away in my beautiful balloon. I like the Nimble advert with the balloon. Do you remember that? Nimble. How did that music go? Nimble. Nimble. Oh, I can't remember now. The Nimble advert. You know the one with a white balloon. That's the 1970s, that one. Anyway, in this week's Super Soaraway Skegness Standard from yesterday, look at this. A blaze. Now, you know I go to Skegness once a week. We have chips. We have a walk. We have an ice cream from McDonald's. Sometimes an apple pie when we're feeling particularly naughty. Sometimes we play bingo. Sometimes we go to the arcade. No children allowed. No nieces. No nephews. No great nieces. No nephews. It's a pensioners' night out. Me, my brother-in-law and my sister. That's it. An over 55 night out with my sister being the exception there. Did I say hello to you, Maureen? Sorry, Donna. I hope I did say hello to you. Thank you, Maureen. A blaze. This is in the Skegness Standard. A blaze that gutted a popular fish and chip shop in Skegness was caused by an electrical fault in a fridge. Quickly, everyone, chuck your fridges away. Very dangerous pieces of equipment here. Very dangerous. The fire was reported around 3:26 yesterday, that's in the afternoon, and crews from Skegness, Spilsby and Wainfleet were called to Seaview Fisheries, according to Lincolnshire Fire and Rescue. Now, I don't think that's the one I go to. I go to one called the Trawler's Catch. Well, thank God for that. Cool, where are we going to get our chips from, dear? Although we went to another place this week, which was called Salts, because our one was closed. S-A-L-T-Z, Salts. That was nice. The bloke working there was friendly enough. Woman, miserable as sin. Miserable as sin. Why people got jobs where they have to face the public where they're as miserable as sin? What's all that about? You know, it goes on here to say it was scaled down to one fire engine by tea time, and the emergency service has since issued a statement confirming there's no injuries. Well, thank God for that. But never mind the injuries. What about the chips, dear? The chips. The statement said there was fire damage to one fridge and 20% of the fish and chip shop. Well, I hope that was not the chip section. I hope it was like, I don't know, the fish section or the dead animal section with sausages and dead fish everywhere. How can people sit there and eat dead animals? I do not know, dear. Images on social media showed smoke billowing from the... I like that word, billowing. Billowing from the property, which is also in a row of shops close to North Parade. Oh, well, I hope it's not our one. There's a picture. I'm looking at a picture. I don't think that's our one. It's completely black on the inside. I feel for the owners. It's a great chippy. Yeah, I hope everyone's okay. Forget the people. What about the chips? I keep saying the chips. Dear me. So thank you very much for that, Kim. Very, very worrying. We will find out when we go to the fish and chip shop this week. Might have 2 outings this week. Might have 2 outings. We are considering going to the Kinema in the Wood to see Mary Poppins. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. Did they do that one? It's a sequel, isn't it? Tuppence. It would now be feed the birds. £25.60 a bag. £25.60 with nectar. Points for you today. That's what it would be. Although not many of you going to Sainsbury's at the moment, is there? Got a story for that coming up in a moment. Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Waitrose. Where are you all going, I wonder? More will be revealed later on in today's very exciting show. Okay? Who else is here? Good morning to Katie. Katie says, I love the jets. They come over my place too. Yeah, Katie, those jets that you see in the opening video, that's the RAF at Coningsby, and they do fly straight over my caravan, usually while I'm doing a show. We haven't heard them for a couple of weeks because, of course, they've all been on their annual leave, their Christmas break. But I would imagine they'd be flying over sometime this week. So look forward to that. And you can hear them. They're clear as a bell when they literally come directly over my caravan, making sure I'm all right. And religious extremists are not taking over this show, which could happen at any moment. I'm warned at some point the Poppies are coming on down here to come and break into my caravan and do a sermon halfway through the show. That's not right. You wait your turn, dear. Wait your turn, Francis. You got your altar. Let me have my studio if you do. I wouldn't go onto the altar and start doing one of my shows, would I? Or maybe I should do that. You know what I could do? What I could do at church on Sunday is I could apply to become a reader. A reader, you know, a reading from the book of Isaiah, and Jesus, and then halfway through it, I could just stop and break into a live version of one of my shows. What do you think of that? Well, this is live, you know, but live in front of an audience. I wonder how well that would go down, lovies. I might have to straighten up a bit for that one. I might not have to be so camp. Chris Reardon, bringing the camp back into Catholicism. Are you liking the sound of that? I could chat. And then I could sing for them as well. A solo hymn. A solo hymn. Morning to Alan Bailey. He's in Australia and having a whale of a time there, aren't you? Some beautiful photographs you upload, Alan. And can I just say, Alan, I don't know if you're still with us now. It's a while since you sent that message, isn't it? But can I just say, I'm so pleased that you take photographs of stuff rather than just your own face all the time, like so many people do now. That's just all their own face. Here's a picture of me, here's one of me, here's one of me, and the lips. Why, oh, why do they do that? Someone sent me a whole video, actually, of The Hitman and Her. Now, do you remember that programme? It was like loads of youngish people, and young and youngish, you know, that sort of age, 18 to about 30, 32, something like that. And they all go into a nightclub and they're filmed for this programme called The Hitman and Her in the 1990s. And everyone is dancing and having a good time and they're looking at each other and listening to the music. No one has a phone. There were none. And they're just having a good time. I mean, some of the places I used to go to, in particular turn meals, thank God there were no phones. Because we were all dancing and having fun and talking to each other and off our heads. And no one was worried about trying to get that perfect bloody picture. Oh, it was so much better with that smartphones, I tell you. It really was. Morning to Terry Limmer. Morning, Terry. Are you on another holiday somewhere? I'm sure you are. Terry's on holiday the other week now, isn't he? Morning to Saeed. Good morning, Saeed. I hope you're well. Raya is there. Daniel Worsley Day. Hello from Hounslow. Good morning, Daniel. Hounslow. There's not many trees there, is there, dear? Would you like me to send something from the caravan? A little plant for you to put in the corner or something like that. It could just be like being here then. You know. Also turn your heating down a bit so it's a little bit chilly. That's how it is in a caravan. All right, Daniel. Adam. I think your cock clock go up higher where the top of the tree is. That looks like you have a what? A cock grell in the tree and the owl looks good there. What's a cock grell? I don't know what a cock growl is. What's a cock growl? Don't know what that is. You think the owl looks good where it is, do you? I don't know. You see, the thing is, if I'm going to do it now. Right, now watch this. I'm going to swap these clocks around. Okay? Can you see, as they were before, can you see that that is lower than that? Right? Now, what? I can't work this out. You ready? Ready? Watch this then. Watch. Look. Now they're at the same level. How is that possible? I can't work that out. If I put them back round the other way, one will be lower than the other. How is that possible? It doesn't make sense to me at all, that. Very, very strange and mysterious. That's what it is, Adam. I must get through some of these messages, my love. Did I say good morning to Courtney? Good morning, Courtney. Hello. Are you used to pulling off wood? Daniel, we can come and watch if you want. I don't mind. Good morning to Lee Davis, who's in Folkstone. Good morning, Lee. Have I been to Folkstone before? I think my nan went there. Is it like a holiday place, Folkstone? I think my Nanny Hayes might have gone there a few times. Morning to Gary Butler. There's my nephew, Gary Butler, just down the road there. Sponge candy is the stuff that I had, but it's like honey. It's honeycomb, isn't it? It's honeycomb. Morning to Michael Poman, who's Polman, I think it is, who's in Queensland, Australia. Good morning to you. Mike Cullen. Morning. Can you replace Matt Stadler or LBC? I can't bear him. I can't bear him. In fact, I'm going to let you into a little secret here, Mike. I hope you're still there. I know I've been chatting a bit. Mike, I went on Nigel Farage's wall. Now, whether or not you like his politics is neither here nor there. I think he's great on the radio. In the same breath, I would say to you, I like George Galloway on the radio, and they are completely opposite. One's hard left and one's hard right. I like them both because they're good on the radio. You don't have to agree with their politics, right? And I actually put on the LBC wall directed to Nigel Farage. Can you not take something like? Can you not take over the nighttime program? That boring Matt Stadler, and he is boring. He's boring, absolutely boring. I put that on there. Well, he saw it, didn't he? And so he sent me a message saying that I was a moron. Oh, that's not the only insult I've had this week. Yesterday, after the show yesterday, about, I don't know, a few hours after, someone put a comment on there because we do go on the Learn English, some of the Learn English Facebook groups. People that want to learn English watch English TV programs to try and pick up the language. Now, I do not pretend at any point to do perfect English. In fact, far from it. You know, but we all speak differently. Very few people speak like they've just come off BBC Radio 4 or anything like that. So it's good to hear many different accents, whether they're London, Scotland, Welsh, a little bit that way, a little bit that way. You know, maybe South London. South London has got kind of a bit of a Caribbean accent to it in some places of South London. And I think you should listen to all of these things. So I do my thing. This is the way I talk. And someone put on there, as this is on the Learn English website group, to let you know it's not very good English. And then a little bit later on, he put another comment on there where it said, what is the purpose of this show? Well, there is no purpose. This show has no purpose at all. It's just there. You can either watch it if you want, or you don't have to. There is no purpose on this show, except, sir, to try and entertain you a little bit and put a little smile on your face, rather than taking life as seriously as you sad little man does. Exactly. I mean, how can you just be not wanting to have a bit of fun now and again? That's what we're here for. I suppose if the purpose of this show is to just have a little bit of a laugh at life, That's what I do. That's what I do. Morning, Mike. Let's have a look here. Diane. Diane Jeb. Good morning, Diane. There were a lot of good singers last night. There certainly was. There absolutely certainly was. Lee's got this Skegness picture in his bathroom, have you? It's good, isn't it? Is that you, Lee? Is that you? After a diet. Look at that. Skegness, that'll be going up in here at some point. Oh, that means I've got to do DIY. Nail in the wall. God, is there any pipes? Should I check first? Nah, just bang in the nail and hope for the best. That's what I do. My sister says that's... Oh, my sister's there as well. That's Sharon Butler. That's my sister. That chip shop, the one that burnt down, is where we take Auntie Brenda to. Oh, well, it's gone now, isn't it? Thank God it's not our one, though, you know. Jackie's never been to Skegness. I feel I am missing out. We must do a show there together, Chris. Yes, Jacquie. We'll hire the Embassy Theatre. How fantastic. I've got an idea for a show here, Jacquie. I've got an idea for a show. I could do the chat show and then bring you on as special guest. Several times, you know, not just one section. Not like Morecambe and Wise. You know, they bring on Shirley Bassey just for one number and then she's gone again. I think she was a bit too expensive for them, probably. That's why she only come on and did the one number. Jacquie, you're cheap, darling, aren't you? So I could have you on three or four times. Doing various numbers. Morning to, let's have a look. Chris, on your glasses, have you got anti-glare? I don't know. Have I? Should I have that on there? Why are they glaring a bit? I'm gonna have to take the risk and bend this back. Oh God. No, it won't go back, will it? Why won't that go back? Have a look at that. It doesn't look like it's... I don't know what's wrong with this. It keeps falling off me. Have they got anti-glare? I don't know what anti-glare is. They're only cheap. These were from Amazon. 4 pairs for 10 quid. That's all they were. Bird Box. Listen to the birds. Listen to the falling of the falling rain or something like that, innit? Never Missed the Hitman and Her. It was an excellent, wasn't it? You can find some bits and pieces on YouTube of that one, Lee. Okay. Let's have a look. Adrian, is that way you laugh at my spelling and grammar and really offended people to learn so much from me how I write not? What? What? Jackie's going to bring the sandwiches and crisps. Yes, Jacquie. Oh, you don't need to do that, Jack. We got a lovely lady, Maureen, who always... She makes me sandwiches... for my trip, she actually makes them on Friday as well. When I come up here, right? So I leave Central Station at about 11:10, 11:15, and then on the way up, I make a cup of tea before I go in my Starbucks recyclable, usable mug or cup. It's a plastic thing. I make a cup of tea that goes in the car, right? And then on the way up here, I have Maureen sandwiches and crisps, and then when I get here, I don't have to cook a dinner. Because I was getting up here and going to bed at like 3:15, 4:45 in the morning by the time I've done with dinner. But now I have the sandwiches, so I get up here 1:45. I'm in bed by 2:15 with my electric blanket on. Yes, please. Thank you very much. We do like an electric blanket. Mark, it depends where the hooks are on the back of the clocks. Is that what it is? It's funny how one's higher and one goes lower. Do you know what? I've completely forgotten the YouTube people. Oh dear. How rude. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Good morning to Claire L. Good morning. She had a frantic few minutes this morning when I thought no live streaming. She's off to a meeting now at 10 o'clock. Well, you've missed that, haven't you? You missed your message now. Sorry. Hello to Weird City Citizen. Good morning to you. Morning, sir. No, we're not in Berkshire, dear. We're in Lincolnshire now. Do pay full attention. Claire's had trouble with sync this morning. I think everyone else is all right though. Where was this jacket? The one in the Las Vegas video? Oh, I don't know. No, I don't think so. No, this is about 2 years old. This is a Ted Baker, this one. This is about 2 years old, this one. Mr. Weird City Citizen. All right. Chris, sync your pendulums. Are they not syncing? I don't think you can do that. I can try, but I reckon one will go out. 1 minute. Let's try it. I'll try it. No, they'll go out. I think they go at different speeds of pendulums. I'm sorry about that. No, no syncing pendulums here. John Parrish, good morning to you. I don't sit here and ignore things, John. Why do you always think you're being ignored? Why is that? I'm now going to ignore every message that you send saying that I'm ignoring it. I'm not going to read them anymore. Folkstone is where you get the ferry to France, is it? Is it not a holiday destination in its own right? Would you like to go to Folkstone for a holiday, John? Would you like that? Oh dear, let's have a look. Oh, here we are, Adrian. Adrian commenting there. Should you be eating crisps? Is that Auntie Fat Fighter's food? Yes, you can have a bag of crisps now and again. On any diet. You shouldn't restrict yourself on anything, Adrian. And by the looks of you, you don't restrict yourself on anything, dear. God's sake, man. You can have crisps now and again. That's perfectly all right. Just not every single day. Not 5 or 6 bags a day. Do you hear what I'm saying to you, Adrian? You mustn't have cakes and sweets and crisps and food and sandwiches and bread every single day. Perhaps you should take note of that, dear. And that's it. Thank you. Right, can we get on with this? I was saying to you a little moment ago about supermarkets. Not many of you going to Sainsbury's or Tesco's or Waitrose. In this morning's Super Soaraway Daily Mail, it says, the big 4 supermarkets are now waging a price war in a bid to fight off budget rivals after Aldi saw its sales surge 10% in a month to £1 billion. That's not bad, is it? £1 billion, dear. The New Year price war has become a retail tradition as supermarkets try to attract shoppers watching their spending following the festive binge. Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda and Morrison's are slashing some groceries by more than 50%. They're the ones, that's one that's they think you're going to pull you into the supermarket. Always be savvy when you're going shopping, right? Certain things will be cheaper in that supermarket. Certain things in that supermarket. So if you're on a budget, that's how to do it. To go round all the supermarkets and work out what's cheap where. I mean, if you haven't got the time to do it, you can't do that. But some people are sitting at home on their lazy fat arses all day long doing nothing. So you've got the time to do this and save a few pennies for your next can of lager. The success. Morrison's marketing director said, we're listening to customers who are telling us that their budgets will be stretched in January. The success of Aldi and Lidl has shaken up shopping habits, forcing the big 4 to cut costs, axe thousands of jobs and call off the opening of new supermarkets. Tesco's has launched budget chain Jacquii, while Sainsbury's is bidding to buy Asda for £7.3 billion. I mean, you can't imagine that, can you? That figure, £7.3 billion. Even if you live in sort of a house in London, that's probably not worth much more than 600,000 or 700,000. I say not much. I mean, I haven't got a house that's worth 700,000. How anyone can possibly buy a house in London, I do not know. Out here in Lincolnshire, if you spent £250,000, you'd have a really, I nearly swallowed, a really lovely house. You'd have a detached bungalow with a lot of land out here, you know. And if you can't stretch to that, even for like, you can pick up houses here if you want to do a little bit of work, 90,000. Little houses, lovely little places. Unfortunately, I don't do anything like that, you know. But London, forget it, mate. But that just comparing that figure, that even if you had a house in London, say worth £1 million, okay? There's quite a few of those now. Houses in London, £1 million, right? You take that million and then put it next to that figure of £7.3 billion. Wow. The story goes on. Meanwhile, Asda, Morrison's and Sainsbury's are slashing fuel prices. Now, I've got that as a separate story. Let's just have a look there. Jacquii Cann has now lost 6 stone in weight. Well done, Jacquii. I lost 2 stone last year. Unfortunately, I've put a stone back on since I've been coming up here to spend time with the family in Lincolnshire. Are you quite close to Lincolnshire, aren't you? Spending time with the family in Lincolnshire, but I'm trying to get that back under control. I lost a little bit since Christmas. I'm now up about 13 pounds instead of a stone, so that's a little bit down. I do Slim as well, Jacquie. I don't know if you knew that. I did do Slim as well. I'm not going now. I'm trying to do it without having to go back to the group, but I might have to go back to the group. So well done, Jacquie. She's lost 6 stone. Maybe I'll bring the carrots on a healthy dip from Aldi. Yes, don't spend the money in Tesco's, dear. Good idea, Jacquie. Amazons are taking over Morrison's. Are they? Amazon. Cross. Do you know, I can see the day coming where the only place you'll be able to buy anything is Amazon. Do you think that would happen? The only place you could buy somewhere is Amazon. Weird City Citizen, I like Waitrose, and some things are actually cheaper than Morrison's. Yes, they are. Got to check out the details. You're right. You're so right. And I'll give you a good example, Weird City Citizen. A good example is fat-free yoghurt. You know the large pots? Fat-free yoghurt. Morrison's, £1. Waitrose, they're, I think, 95 pence. Generally, they're around £1. Morrison's seems to be the most expensive place for fat-free yoghurt. Cheapest, Aldi. They're something like 58 pence. Huge saving if you buy 10. It's nearly £2, dear. £2. Or is it more than that? I don't know. I'm no good with maths. Maths, O-level, unclassified. Chris Reardon. Unclassified for maths. I'm sorry, I wasn't very good at that. Houses are cheaper where we live. I'm sure they are. What do you pay for a house where you are, Katie? Say 3-bedroomed house with a garden. How much would that be there? Good morning, Richard Harvey. He does Slimming World. How have you done so far, Richard? It works. As long as you stick to the plan, it works. I had too many treats when I was coming up north. That's the problem, you see. When I'd lost my 2 stone, I found I could have treats twice a week. That could be like a pizza or burger and chips or something like that. And the rest of the time, I stuck rigidly to the plan, and it fell off. It got stuck for about 4 weeks, and then it started coming back down again. It absolutely does work, Slimming World. If anyone wants to lose weight and want to go to Slimming World, but you're a bit worried that people take the piss out of you while you're there, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen to anyone. If you go there and you weigh and you've gone up £3, no one starts to take the piss. Oh, you've put on enough. And that's the beauty of Slimming World. Everyone respects each other. Jacquie, my son works for Morrison's and said he heard through the management. It may be a rumour. I heard a rumour. Perhaps you put that one in your show. You could do Bananarama now, Jacquie. You could do Banana. I could do, but we could both be Bananarama in a show. I can sing. I think. Love is in the air everywhere I look around. Now, what did I sing last night? Was it kind of a ballady? Was it a ballady type thing? What did I do? Oh no, was it the Last Waltz? Yes, it was. I think I did the Last Waltz last night. I'll have the last waltz with you. Da da da. 2 lonely people together. I fell in love with you. The last waltz should last forever. Ba da 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 ba 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 ba. What famous singers have you sung with, Jacquie? You must have done some. Have you done Tom Jones? What famous singers have you sung with, Jacquie? Tell us all. We want to know. We want to know. Richard. Oh, it was me and Jacquie who do. Oh, so Jacquie does do Slimming World. Oh, well, you know, I'm talking to someone who knows it works. It does work. It really does work, Slimming World. Good morning, Mark Connor. Good morning, Mark. £10 Pom, who's with us this morning. Joanna is in the house. Good morning, Joanna, on the YouTube. Paul and Lou are late again. Blimey. You are late. Why are you getting so late, Paul? Do you want me to move the show just for you so it's more convenient? Shall I move the show for you to 10:30 instead of sort of 9:30? I do actually want to cut back to about 45 minutes instead of an hour because it's stopping me getting ahead on things, it is. Adrian, I like going to Fat Fighters because you can eat dust. Well, perhaps you should eat a bit more, Adrian. I don't see any weight coming off, love. Are you doing it correctly? You're not going to Slim and Weld and telling them you've done this and this, and you're straight round the corner and you go and buy a multi-pack bag of cheese and onion crisps. It's outrageous. I tell you what, something you must have seen this, Jacquie. I tell you what, some of the girls do in Slimming World. They do make me laugh, especially those that go in the morning. So they come in, and I always remember being in the queue for my weigh-in, and I've got this cup of tea, and this woman, she's come up to me. She says, "You're not having a drink, are you?" Well, yeah, I'm having a cup of tea. What, before your weigh-in? Yes, I'm having a cup of tea. She said, well, we don't. And they're all sitting there, you know, they look starving because they haven't eaten anything or drunk anything since they got out of bed, and they're standing in this queue at Slimming World waiting for the weigh-in. And they all go in. There's a queue at the toilet. There's a queue at the toilet. People trying to go to the toilet before they have the weigh-in. And you can hear them trying to push stuff out. It's awful. So then they get the weigh. So they get the weigh in, you know, they go on the scales, and you've lost half a pound. Yeah! They get off the scales, they put all their... There's one woman standing there in a pair of knickers. She's taken off every item of clothing, dear. She's standing there on the scale in her knickers. So she has her weigh in, right? She's lost some money, some weight, claps her hands, right? Puts all her clothes back, goes and sits down straight into the handbag and gets out 3 bars of those Slimming World chocolate things. I don't know what they're, you know, little things. They're like fingers, aren't they? They're actually quite nice, especially the orange ones. I like the orange ones. What are they called? Those Slimming World chocolate bars. Well, they open a box of those and have about 4 of them after they've had their weigh-in. They're desperately hungry after that. You mustn't come out and not have breakfast. Dear. Katie, oh, you can get a house where Katie is $310,000. So what's that going to be? I'm not quite sure the conversion rate there. Jacquie feels a duet coming on. Oh, come on. I reckon we could do a duet, Jacquie. Could we do a duet? Puff the Magic Dragon. Someone sung Puff the Magic Dragon last night. Lives by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Jollily, or something like that, isn't it? Joanna has forgotten her earplugs. How dare you? Paul and Lou's ears are bleeding with my song. Mike Cullen, never mind the last waltz. Make that the last song. Oh, the last song. I like to do get someone to do Last Dance. That's my favourite one to finish with. Donna Summer, you know that one? Last Dance. From the film Thank God It's Friday, which I really like that film. It's not a very well-known film. Anyone watch that film? You might actually find that on YouTube. Donna Summer's in it, and it's got this DJ. And he's in a glass box with all silver in the middle of the dance floor. He's you know, and he's up there in this glass box, and he can see the whole of the dance floor. And Donna Summer comes in and knocks on. He's like a famous DJ. He's not famous, but he's in the film playing a famous DJ. And he's doing all the chat and that. And just like I used to do, really, except I didn't have the gold suit, the silver suit. Donna Summer comes in, knocks on the door, and he's like begging him to play her music, and she does eventually. And then she gets to perform in front of some music people, and this bloke's holding his ears like that and leaves. And she sees him leave while she's doing her performance. And she comes off the stage and tries to find him, runs off after him. And I can't remember if she finds him or one of her friends does, and was asking, was it that bad? He says, no, it was fantastic. I just don't like loud music. Isn't that weird? And that's funny, actually, Jacquie. That's a bit like me now. I'm not keen on loud music anymore. I rarely have music on in the car. Isn't that funny? All those years of and I had such a wonderful time DJing, and I've said this on the show before. I don't miss it at all. I've given up virtually all the DJing. I do a little bit of hosting on Saturday night. I love doing karaoke now. That's what I like doing. DJing? No, I don't really want to do it. Well, I don't. I stopped doing it about nearly a year and a half ago now. About a year and a half ago now. I got fed up with it. Really fed up. You get fed up with idiots. Idiots. Oh, have you got anything we can dance to? Have you got this? Haven't you got that? Why not? Moan and moan and moan. I'm so glad I'm not someone who moans about anything at all. I really am. Are you still doing radio, Mike says? No, not anymore. I did the Reach thing for some time. But unfortunately, it was a time issue. It was an issue with time, really. I just found myself struggling for time. so I had to knock that one on the head. I have here, where I am here, we've got a few community radio stations. There's one in Boston called Endeavour FM. And in Lincoln Town Centre, there's one called Lincoln City Radio, I think. So if I wanted to, I could possibly approach them and ask if they wanted to, if they'd want me to do a show, or whether they'd allow me to do a show on there. But not at the moment. I'm pushed for time at the moment, you see. Richard Harvey, queue for toilet. Funny but true. Yeah, I could go to the toilet now, actually. I can't go for much longer. I need to go and have a wee. And then go swimming up in Horncastle later. I love singing Last Dance. Do you, Courtney? Last dance for love. Used to go to this club in London, at the Fridge, which was in Brixton. And the DJ there, I think it was Mark Andrews, he used to finish every Saturday night going into Sunday morning. He used to finish with Last Dance. I love that song. It goes fast and it goes slow and it goes fast. The 12-inch version, which I hope you've got, it's just amazing. Wonderful, proper old disco type tune, isn't it, Courtney? I love it. Adrian doesn't like cheese and onion crisps. They make your breath smell. Well, I'm sure you had some the other night, actually. You were standing quite close to me talking, Adrian. Hadn't you had a bag then? Well, that's a bit of a worry. I'd go and see a dentist, mate. You better go and see a dentist. Dreadful smell coming out of your mouth the other day. I thought you'd had, like, you know, an entire case of cheese and onion crisps. I never like standing next to people when they're eating that stuff. I just don't like standing next to people, full stop. Especially when it's you. I can barely get past. Michael Lawrence, Adrian, which one? Oh, sorry, they're just talking to each other. Lynx FM, yeah, but that's an ILR, isn't it? It's an independent local radio, Lynx FM. I think they'd probably want you to do a bit more of a format, whereas on a community station, it's kind of a bit like being on Reach, really. You can kind of do your own thing within reason. You know, you don't swear, and you couldn't say bastard. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't do it. You know, it's just common sense. You don't. I think, you know, sometimes, and I'm sure this is the case for you as well, Mike. Certainly, some of us over the age of, shall we say, 40, we have something called common sense. You know what to say and what not to say. No need to read some bloody rule book or something like that. You would just know, and I'm sure you're the same. Jacquie hasn't sung with anyone famous. Only Michelle Collins from EastEnders at the Black Cap for a lock-in. Ah, yes. And the lovely Angie Brown. Oh, I met her about a year ago. I'm going to get you, baby. I'm going to get you. Yes, I am. She's fab. She's fab. Angie Brown. What a character. And full of life. Full of life. There was another girl who I haven't seen for years. And I worked with her several times in the early 90s. Sandra Edwards. Do you remember her? Little girl. Oh, she was great. She was as mad as a hatter. Mad as a hatter. Sandra Edwards. And who else did I really like? Carol Gianni. Oh, Carol Gianni. And she had this hair like this. I was in stitches. Now, a lot of people, oh, you're not working with Carol Gianni, are you? Yeah, well, oh, she's a right cow to work with. Don't think so. I mean, sometimes I think it's the people who are the DJs themselves who are the problem. You know, some of them think they're like gods. They absolutely do. You know, it's how you get on with people. And I loved Carol Giant. She was hilarious. Absolutely. She had this hair. And one particular Friday night, and in the Black Cap on the Friday, it was packed. Packed. This would be maybe either 1989 or very early 1990s, and she came through this crowd and she had this hair like, and she's got her hands over her hair trying to get through that. And then she come on the stage and she's doing her numbers, Hit and Run Lover, and I think it was her. I'm pretty sure it could have been someone else now, come to think of it. Who was the one on Blind Date? Claudia Patrice. Now, let me think. No, I don't think it was Claudia, because I worked with her as well. She was great as well, Claudia Patrice. No, I'm sure it was... Who did I just say? Oh, Christ, I'm just forget words these days. Not Claudia Patrice. It was Carol Gianni. I'm sure it was Carol Gianni. Anyway, so she's doing her numbers. Hit and Run Lover. That was her big number. Everyone's got a big number, haven't they? And she's like, right, I want someone to come on the stage and dance for me. And this young queen got up. He was about 20, right? She says, okay, I want you to lay down on the floor. So this queen's laying down on the floor. And she starts singing her song. And then she straddles his face and sits on it. I was killing myself laughing. It was the funniest thing. She was absolutely wonderful. Carol Gianni. Oh, I've been blessed to work with such wonderful people over the years. I really have. You know, and then some really big stuff. Bucks Fears, the Beverly Sisters. They were lovely, the Beverly Sisters. They really were. That would have been 1996, I think. And my father hadn't recently passed away. And I was a bit down. And one of them says, she says, are you all right? I said, oh, my dad's died. And she sat me down and she talked to me all about it. She was lovely. Yeah, I'm just trying to think who would be the biggest star. I don't know. There were so many of them over the years. Funny, really. Yeah, very lucky to have worked with such people, I must say. Let's just go back to some of your messages. Jack, yes. Michael, Tim Bruce. Good morning, Tim. Welcome to the show, Tim. Won't be here much longer, I'm afraid. We're about to go. Claire is there. Claire's back again. Claire is telling us that we're out of sync. Claire, what I do is close the browser, reopen it, try that. If that doesn't work, restart whatever you're watching on, whether it's a computer or your mobile phone or something like that. But sometimes people do say I've gone out of sync when everyone else says it's in sync. So I'm never quite sure where. No one else has said we're out of sync. So I think it's possibly a little problem at your end, darling. Maybe completely switch it off, wait 10 seconds and turn it on again. All right, darling? I can't watch those clocks bobbling away in the background. Do you not like the clocks? Making your mind up was from Bucks Fizz, that's right. I'm going to speed it up and then I'm going to slow it down. Getting a run for your money, you take a top, and something like that, isn't it? Richard Harvey, I think it's time for Jacquii and me to get out of bed. Yes, get out of bed. In stereo. Right, just one more story then. And I was mentioning the supermarkets. Here we go. Supermarket bosses said prices will fall today, that's Tuesday, as a result of decreases in wholesale costs. But one of the four big grocers will not be following suit. Here we go. 3 major supermarkets will slash prices on fuel from today in the first wave of cuts this year. And I have to say, I've noticed the petrol has gone down and down and down recently. Have you noticed that? Big disparity between petrol and diesel, though, at the moment, isn't there? It's like 10 pence a litre, the difference. Some places even more than that. It comes after Asda fired the first shot yesterday morning, announcing plans to cut the cost of petrol and diesel at all of its 320 fuel stations from today. Morrison's and Tesco's quickly followed suit. However, Big Four rival Sainsbury's won't do it. They're not going to do it. Asda said from the 8th of January, customers will benefit. I'm really sorry, I've got such an itchy nose here. Oh, I have got a tissue. Let me try blowing it. That might help. I get really itchy nose. Oh, excuse me, dear. Do you do that on stage, Jacquii? Hang on a minute. Where's my thing now? Asda said from the 8th of January, customers will benefit from up to 1p a litre off unleaded and 2p off of diesel. I think that's going to make it about 1.13 a litre. The last week when I filled up at Skegness at Asda, it was 1.14 a litre, so it's probably be. Oh, here it is here. The retailer's new price will mean drivers across the country will pay no more than £1.13.7 a litre, so it could even be a little bit less than that. It's the 7th fuel price drop Asda has delivered to motorists since the 26th of October, dropping the price of unleaded fuel by 14 pence a litre now and diesel by 11 pence a litre. Morrison's will also be doing the same. So that's good news, boys and girls. You should go out. If you do, always try and, if you know of one, Asda are always the cheapest place to buy fuel. When I'm up here, I either go to the Asda in Boston, if I'm going to the shops up in Boston, or in Skegness. As you know, we go to Skegness once a week at night time for a nice little walk around and some baked beans and chips. And I always go via Asda there, and then we do our shopping in Aldi on the way home. It's great. Skegness Aldi. That is the place to be. On is it Thursday nights we go? Sometimes Wednesday, sometimes Thursday. And we get there about 9 o'clock. There's no one in there. No one in there. There's me, my brother-in-law and my sister. That's it. That's it. No one ever in it. It's wonderful walking around in there at night. Aldi, Skegness. You must come. Perhaps we could have a little party in there. It'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Good morning to Russ Philip Vernon. Good morning, Russ. Paul and Lou are the posh side of the Chris Reardon show. Don't leave. Adrian's complaining at Tesco's. Why is the diesel so much more than a petrol? I think, Adrian, it's something to do with heating oil. You know how it is. The more people want it, the dearer it becomes. Middle of the winter, more people are buying heating oil. And I think that's something to do with the price of the diesel from what I've heard, okay? Claire did a 10 o'clock meeting, which didn't last long. Blimey, that's the quickest meeting of all time. I wish most meetings lasted like that. Don't you hate, Claire, meetings that you go to, right, and they don't mean anything, if you see what I mean? The meetings I went for those. Complete and utter waste of time. Almost having meetings for the sake of calling a meeting. Oh, that does annoy me, Claire. I do hate wasting my time. Don't you? I'm sure they're the same as me, Claire. I hate time wasting. I want something to do all the time. I could, when I come up here, right, I could lay in bed till 11 o'clock in the morning if I wanted to. Why would you do that? People do it all the time. Usually gamers. People who play on their little things and Nintendos and stuff like that. They get up at 2 in the afternoon, straight down to the Xbox and turn it on, start playing a game, and they go to bed about 4 in the morning. What a life. What a dreadful waste of life. For Christ's sake, get out there and do something. Anything, really. I can't be time wasting, no. YouTube is definitely a cutter, but what do YouTube... have you sorted out your out of sync thing there, Claire? I hope it's all right now for you, darling. All right. Weird City Citizen blew my coffee off the table. Careful, careful. Jacquii is going to go. She's going to fill up with petrol from Asda. We will tune in again soon. Jacquii, I'd love to see you at some point. Are you in Norfolk? Is it Norfolk you're in? I'd love to come down. It's been so long since I saw you, Jacquii. And we've always gotten well, haven't we? You're such a wonderful person. I like wonderful people. I don't like fakes, Jacquii. Do you know what I mean? And let's be honest, the jobs we work in, we come across them all the time. Have done for years and years. Fakes. Fakes I can't bear. That's why I don't watch much telly anymore. Fakes. Talent shows. I mean, why is it that every talent show now has to have 3 or 4 judges sitting there judging people? Why is that? The judges used to be the audience. You know, opportunity knocks or something like that. But do you need a judge? Do you need to be judged? Why can't we just go on the... Like in the pubs, we used to have, certainly at the Black Cat, the amateur talent show. And there were some of the weird and the wonderful people who, for 3 or 4 minutes, came on a stage and just did their thing. It was fantastic entertainment. Wonderful people. Gonna swear, one was called Widow Wanky. It's a play on the name Widow Twanky, you see. Widow Wanky. We had Sheila Serenade. We had May East. Oh, gosh. I think it was a guy called Paul Brown. May East, Sheila Serenade. Fedora Hogg. real characters. Oh, I can't tell you, amateur talent show. Some of the characters that we used to have turn up and do their own thing. And some people would argue, you know, that a lot of them were a load of rubbish. I wouldn't say that. They were talented people doing their own thing. You like some of them, you didn't like others. The same with everything else. There's plenty of people that don't like me. Plenty of people who don't like me. I'll tell you that, I'm sure there is. Claire, Skegness, don't get any better at Audi Skegness. Oh, it's wonderful, Claire. It's wonderful. You go in there, you got a basket full of shopping, you're standing there with 20 quid, wondering if you've got enough money for all the shopping. Then she's bagging it up. It comes through at the speed of light. You've got to be quick packing that stuff at Audi. She's going in there. It's flying off the back. Right? And then she pushes a button. You give over your 20 quid. And then she gives you about 13 quid back in change. How do they do that? Audi is the only place where you can stand there wondering if you've got enough money and then get a load of change back because you did have more than enough. I could have got twice the amount of shopping there. Wonderful, dear. Claire is self-employed. I could shove her out the door very quickly once the meaningful part was set at a meeting. Good. Good. Adam the plumber. I was on stage at the Cap on Amateur Night doing Always Look on the Bright Side of Life in a loincloth. If you remember. I don't remember that, Adam. Were you really? Oh, dear. Okay. Gang, let's do today's birthdays for you. Happy birthday on this Tuesday, the 8th of January 2019 to Gaz Carter. Good morning, Gaz. 37 years old now, are you, Gary? Gareth, rather. Happy birthday to you. It's been a while. Hope you're okay, Gareth. Gareth Carter today, 37 years old. 20 years old to Mattie James Perrin, who's just become a friend of mine on Facebook. I was chatting to him last night. I think he works for one of the delivery companies, DPD, I think he works for. So happy birthday to you, Mattie, and welcome along to this madness. Dan Ellis, good morning to Dan Ellis this morning. Stephen Derek Hill, good morning, Stephen. Used to come along to the karaoke at Belushi's in London Bridge. Happy birthday, Stephen. Suko Sullivan in New York. Good morning, Suko. Seem to have lost contact with you, darling. I sent you a Facebook message. Whether or not you got it, I don't know. But happy birthday, Suko in New York. Gavin Ken Seng Lim is 41 years old today. Happy birthday, Gavin. Kevin Melville. Happy birthday today. Bill Buckley, a very young 60 years old today. You've seen Bill or heard him on television or radio. He was one of the presenters of that excellent programme, That's Life. Now, I heard it was coming back with different presenters, but it was great, that programme, That's Life. I went to see that at Television Centre, BBC Television Centre in London about 3 times I did. And it was funny. Who was the guy who sat in the chair with the glasses doing monologues? Cyril, I think it was. And he kind of warmed up for the others before they started taping, before they started recording the show. And he would warm up with the same joke every week, which was someone had left their radio mic on and gone into the toilet, and everyone heard, the toilet flushing and all that, and they called it Handel's water music. He came out, there's the same joke every time. Happy birthday to you, Bill, 60 years old today. Danny Trevino Kusmi, good morning, Danny, happy birthday. Paul Heron, DJ Paul Heron, very famous, popular DJ in London, who I met a couple of times when I was DJing out in France and Italy some years ago now, Alternative Holidays. Happy birthday to you, Paul. And Terry Walpole, W-A-L, Terry Walpole, who I work with at a place in Ealing. A big happy birthday to you, sir. He does fitness now. He does, all that PT, personal training and all that business. I can only dream of having a body like yours, I must say. Happy birthday to you all. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, boys and girls. Must say a quick hello to SOS Gregorian. Good morning, sir. It was lovely. He turned up at the karaoke last night, and he's such a nice, friendly chap. He really is. Sat on the table. We had the fire on last night? I can't remember if we had the fire. It was quite warm in there last night. We had a very, very busy karaoke last night, and that's it. Okie doke. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show today. Hopefully, I'll be back with you again tomorrow. Just a reminder, gang, always have your little notifications thing set to come on. Now, I'm just interested if Claire managed to sort out her problem, did she? Let's have a look. No, she hasn't answered there. Cyril Fletcher, thank you, Chris. That was the bloke. Cyril Fletcher, I would imagine he's no longer with us, but he was an amusing character, wasn't he? Very clever. He was very, very clever. Angela's going to play golf tomorrow. She's got to get to sleep. She's in Melbourne. Good night, Angela. I should do perhaps a lullaby. Good night, Angela. See you in the morning. Good night, Angela. Yeah, I was just saying, have your little notifications thing set to come on, because you never know, I might throw in a show now and again at night time or in the afternoon. But generally, we're here around about 9:30 in the morning. Enjoy your Tuesday. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye now.